This is the S&P 500 Spider ETF SPY one-day reading for March 19th, 2025. It's currently March 12th, 2025, 8:55 p.m. Eastern Time. SPY at the time of this reading, $558.87. That's USD. The shuffle video for the March 19th reading was created on February 21st, 2025 at 8:19 p.m. Eastern Time. So what we're going to cover in this video is the overall trend direction and chart behavior for the day. We're going to give you the chart behavior around the highest high and the lowest low, as well as the timing of the highest high and the lowest low, and any trades that we see that look like pretty solid trades. We'll also give you the hour by hour chart behavior, sequence of chart behavior. It's important to understand we're predicting the sequence of chart events. The timing is usually on point, but it will not always be the case. Sometimes it's plus or minus an hour or two of wiggle room, but the sequence of events remains accurate nonetheless. So make sure to pay attention to that stuff. And really, you shouldn't be trading this information. It's for entertainment purposes, really. If you're serious about trading SO meta analysis, you need to get that early access subscription with the live Discord trade alerts, live updated trading view charts. I'll show you how to get that stuff at the end of the video. So before I get into it, I also want to make sure you're aware the whole purpose of the channel is to transmute some of the competitive energy of the stock market into goodwill. Following through on the rule of karma for the channel, you donate 5% of all profits forward to one of these charities, 5% of all profits back to the channel through one of these links, leaving you at 90%. Make sure to spend that 90% out of love. Following those rules makes you an angel investor of the channel. There are definitely perks for these people of integrity who follow through on the rule of karma. So much love and appreciation. Everybody does that. Let's get into it. All right, so we've got the fortune card as a theme, which indicates one of two things. It could be like a major reversal on a multi-day scale. It could be multiple reversals throughout the day. Behavior around the highest high. There's a resistance level highlighted at the highest high for the day that we failed to break through many times before and or will fail to break through many times in the future. Behavior around the lowest low for the day, a brief peak that's easily missed followed by a decline through multiple support levels into the low. And I'm advised to trade around an important peak that'll stand out. It'll either be like a new high or it'll be like a new high after making lows. You know, it depends on the scenario. In this case, it's probably like new highs after making lows or something like that. But either way, the high, you break through key resistance, you stay above it briefly, break back down through it shortly thereafter. We're looking for that type of peak to trade around. In the pre-market, we've got a period of sideways rotation and a sharp drop that'll stand out in that period of sideways rotation. Right around the open, a failed attempt to break through key resistance, followed by a decline through key support. A U-shaped dip in the first half hour. We probably have a peak there around the open that we failed to break through at resistance. And we turn around and decline through key support. And then we turn around and we move to the upside again, taking us to a peak or higher price level around 10 o'clock or so. Around 10 o'clock, and then at that key resistance that we probably are hitting for the second time there, between 10 and 11, we should decline pretty notably into a low for the day, followed by sideways rotation, and then a notable sideways rotation between roughly 11 and 12, and then a notable reversal to the upside out of a decline between roughly 12 and 1, taking us back to the same high again, most likely between roughly 1 and 2, probably around 130. A lot of price change into and or out of that price level. We might even like rotate sideways along it for a moment, but there should be a key technical price level there at a high, and we decline pretty notably from that between roughly 2 and 3, either out of an important price level on a one-year chart scale or into an important price level on one-year chart scale. Probably out of, and that's probably what that high is indicating, that because we see it more than once. And then the Fool card in the last hour, indicating an important trade opportunity that will stand out amongst other one-day charts. And it looks like some pretty big price swinging going on there in the last hour. So if you see a big swing, you might be able to time it, especially with Discord, and maybe do like a scalp there or something along those lines. Either way, we have a rally around the close into key resistance. We decline from that resistance with consecutively lower spikes up on the way down. And then in the post-market, we have a rally along a diagonal trend line, breaking through horizontal resistance, meet another resistance before pulling back to somewhere between those two price levels. So what I would do, so there's a couple ways that you can play this, but there should be like a peak or resistance that we decline from, creating this U-shaped dip. After we break through key support, there's a failed attempt to break through resistance at the open, followed by a decline through key support. After we break through what looks like key support, I would look to get into a long position with the intent to close out of it when we revisit that peak or higher between roughly 10 and 11. And then we should decline from that resistance again between roughly 10 and 11. I would wait until the sideways rotation is followed by more decline. So I probably wait until at least 12. And then if we look to decline more there at 12, I would open up a long for a day trade. If we don't decline more there at 12, but we've been doing sideways rotation, I would open up a long for a day trade. And I would look to close the day trade roughly around 1:30-ish, give or take a half hour or so. What I'm looking for is a high for the day there, most likely the same high as what we saw earlier in the day, probably twice. And then here at the end of the day, this full card really... If there's a big swing to the downside here in the last half hour, I would look to open up a long position for an overnight swing. And that's SPY for March 19th, 2025. Let me show you how to get that early access subscription. You go to our website, Tarot for Traders. Hover over Order Now, click on Subscriptions. Our intro subscription is early access. You get the earliest access to any of our public posts that come out on YouTube, come out on our Discord first. You get the access to the live Discord trade alerts for day trading SPY and for swing trading SPY, as well as the chart drawings, the live trading view chart drawing, which is updated regularly, where we actually draw in real time and ahead of time entries and exits, and we're usually on point. For the most part, we're on point. There's there's a few that we don't get 100%, but the majority of those are money makers, my friends. So you go to subscribe here. It's $100 a month, $1,000 for the year. This is very, very likely going to be raised to $200 in the not too distant future, guys. Anybody that snags the price, the subscription at this $100 rate, congrats, because you'll have that for the lifetime of your subscription. So if you're thinking about it, guys, hurry up and get that before it's gone. And that's SPY for the 19th, 2025, or March 19th, 2025. Let me know what you think by hitting that like button. As always, make sure to follow that rule of karma. Blessings to all my angel investors. I'll see you guys on the next one.